Welcome, punters, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Apologies to people. There was going to be a podcast last week, but we thought we'd just take a little hiatus before we get into the summer sort of areas. But I know you kept going, Matty.
Yeah, mate. The committee had a good week last week. Glass Bay definitely made it a bit of a fill up for the community, so that was quite nice. But no, it was good to be back because I think there's some nice races coming up just before Christmas, whether it be here in Melbourne,
Yep.
a few up in Sydney, but more across in Adelaide and also over in Perth, where we may be focusing our attention across the next few weeks.
Yeah, big Railway Stakes Day. Geez, that's a tough race. So if you like something, please let us know. We will be taking a little hiatus midway through December, back midway through January, guys. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now with pretty much no breaks, maybe 1 week off here. So if you do want to get our thoughts, stick to the socials. More importantly, join the community. If you're a first-time watcher, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe to our YouTube or any podcast platform that you use. If we find you plenty of winners, please head over to Spotify and please rate our podcast because everything we do is for free. There's no hidden paywalls. We do it for the love of it. So all we ask for is just a bit of a rating on Spotify as a thank you. And I can guarantee we'll find you plenty of winners over the coming weeks before we go on holidays. More importantly, if you want to join the community, it's all done via WhatsApp. Getting a lot of people joining now. So welcome aboard to the newbies. And I know they're going to enjoy it because there's going to be plenty of winners. So DM one of us, we'll put you straight through. And yeah, you can get all our thoughts over the Christmas holidays because we will still be punting, more importantly. No talking points this week, guys. We're going to just run straight through to it because there's nothing really to talk about. If I do go on a rant, it would go on for another 20 minutes because I'm really pissed off with the MRC, but that's another talking point. We are at Cranbourne. I'm going to preview Cranbourne Race 9 Cranny Cup. Matty's going to preview Kembla Grange Race 3. Bets around the grounds. We're even going to dive into the Greyhounds this Saturday night, so stay tuned. Multi and Pineapple of the Week. Now, the track stats on rail 3 meters at Cranbourne. There's a little bit of rain around the 1 to 5 on a Friday night. And then there's really no rain till 6 p.m. Saturday. So if the bomb is correct, it'll be very interesting to see what the track rating is because are they going to hold off on the hand watering until the rain arrives and then top it up Saturday morning? Or just keep hand watering, and if it comes, we're going to be working on a soft track, guaranteed. So it's a really hard to assess for us for on a Thursday night, but I'm confident it's going to be leaders track. You're just going to have to be fit. Cranbourne, it's a very unique track and can throw up some weird results. So it's definitely watch and act, wait for the morning, see what the forecast is, and we will act from there. You will get all that through the community and much, much more. I will dive straight into the Cranbourne Cup, I reckon, Matty, because I've got my notes ready to go. Cranbourne Cup, 1,600 metres, listed race. We've got the favourite here at $4. Oh no, it's a real mixed here. 360 to 420. Foxy Cleopatra, Euphoric $5, Ascension $7, Just Folks $7.50. Here to Shock $7.50. Pounding $11, Ungawa $11, and you're gonna have 17 plus the rest. The speed map for me, I don't think there's going to be much pace here. There's pace. The leaders are going to come from the outside. There's no pace on the inside. Ascension, I feel, can lead here from 11. Just Folk should use Ascension to come across and sit outside leader or even find the rail and lead. Here to shock from 5, should camp right behind the leaders in a perfect spot. Wouldn't surprise if it led as well. Foxy Cleopatra from 3 will be more positive from barrier 3. Pounding Umgar will be midfield. One thing we do know on this track, 1,600 metres the starting point. It's 400 metres to that first turn. Jockeys have plenty of time to think about it and not rush and find a good spot. Come race 9, rail might be off. Outside barriers could be a key here. Inside might be off. So inside barriers might be disadvantaged. Sorry. So definitely watch an act. But yeah, I can't see him going too quick here. Just Folk, Here to Shock, Ascension, all fighting for that spot. But once they find them, I think they're going to pull up. I have Just Folk on top here. I know it might be a touch disappointing last start at the Valley, but I feel it just didn't handle that last corner at the Valley. It wanted to go wider on the corner. It was basically in lane 2 and then ended up in lane 5. Ollie looked to look after the horse in the home straight because it looked like it had a lot to give. And I think Ollie just looked after it for a while, just in that last 200 metres when he knew he couldn't win. If the track stays soft, I think this horse will be up on speed. He loves the soft. If it gets to the heavy, which I don't think, I think he handles that too. First up, this horse is really good behind Tamerlane. Then second up, it was 2 lengths off Prowess and Tino Tuvalu. Geez, that form reads really well for me. Currently $7. I think that's a really good each way bet. Chartered House here, I think he's the roughie of the race, and he might be one you can just have a little speckle here. I know the regular listeners or watchers here know I have opinion of this horse, especially from the Winter Series. Definitely worth having a little play here. He's tackled Group 2 and Group 1 races on good tracks, where I feel that wasn't ideal, especially the good tracks. Go back the prep before, its best racing, we're on soft tracks. Map is a little negative, but if there's any hint of running on, I think this horse comes into calculations at around $17. Floxy Cleopatra. Now, if you listen to the trainer, he's almost declared it. It's an interesting runner for me. I know he's the fave. I know there's some hype on this horse. He did start $10 in a VRC Oaks and failed. Probably didn't run 2,500 metres in last year against She's Extreme. First up was huge off some nice trials. Definitely come back a way better horse. Second to Skew If, who looked the winner in the Rupert Clark last week and died on its run. But this horse is second up off an SP of $31. Now asking you to take high $3. Might be seeing a few rear ends with that inside draw. If Willow finds the right spot here, I've got egg on my face and this easily wins. But I don't like the map for this horse, and I just can't be diving in at that price at $3.80, coming off an SP of $31 against Skew If. Matty, your thoughts?
Mate, I thought I was going to find some value for the punters, but you've just taken my thunder, which is somewhat scary. Just Folk, I'll have that on top. I think soft track it maps exceptionally well. Stackhouse not Stackhouse on board. Bowie Burns on board. I think it maps exceptionally well. To your point, that form line behind Prowess, Tuvalu and Tino, look, it was 2.5 lengths off them at the Valley that day, but honestly, I think at $7-8, that's a price I'm quite comfortable to find out. Other one that took my fancy was Assertion. And Assertion, again, from barrier number 11, not the best spot to be jumping from, which is the main reason I didn't have that on top. I think Harry Coffey needs to make a decision, and that decision will be to go forward. So for its chances, can't burn too much petrol getting across. And for that reason, I do have Just Folk finishing over the top of it. They're the two that took my fancy in this one.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's good that we've aligned. Something with like these tracks coming up, guys. Cranbourne, your Ballarats. Look for the local trainers here. This is where they really get their horses pumping. They have their open days this time around, where the owners come in, and this is where they really set their horses. So your Bussett and Youngs, your Rowells, your Bedge Goods, they're the ones you want to be just giving that little extra tick and going, oh, yes or no. If you see them got a horse in at Cranbourne, you just got to give them that extra tick because yeah, they've got their owners' day. They're going to have their big tables full of piss. They want winners for their owners on their home track. So yeah, just a little insight that I give a little tick for these little home track trainers this time of year. All right, Matty, Kembla Grange, race 3. Take it away.
Mate, thank you. Just quickly, rail in the true position here. Does look like we will be getting rain up in New South Wales, so take that into consideration. The track doesn't hold water exceptionally well. Look, it may be okay early when it comes to the inside, but I think later on, that's where you definitely will be seeing the winners come from down the middle of the track. In terms of race number 3 here, Worm, from a pace perspective, Run with the Tide and Plundering, they're the two I think will be towards the front of the field. But Worm, the two that I found in here that I am keen to have a play on. First one is Smashing Eagle with Brett Pebble on board from barrier number 2, around about that $6 mark. Worm, this horse has been exceptionally consistent. I think from barrier number 2, we can sit a bit closer. Doesn't necessarily need to be sitting in the back 2 or 3 as it has found itself in the last couple of races. And it does have the class to be getting the job done here. Now, it's just going to depend on the run it gets around the bend. I think Brett Prepper wanted a touch of luck, but at $6, I'm quite happy to be playing Smashing Eagle. Well, the other one, number 1, Dynamic Impact, around about that $14 with Nash Ruler on board, Bjorn Baker, barrier number 1. Again, I think Nash will be a little bit more positive. Won't have the pace out of the gates to be with Plundering and Run with the Tide, but I expect it to be sitting in the first 4 or 5. From there, should be able to get a really good run. Nash should be able to get it into the middle of the track. And again, at $14, I think it's the overs in the field. Favourite being Contemporary at that 360 mark. I can see why they've come for it. For mine, I don't necessarily think it's got that much of an edge over these two I've just spoken about. So that's why I prefer to go with a little bit more value in what's not really that deep a race. So Smashing Eagle at $6 and Dynamic Impact, I'll be playing both of those here, Worm.
Beautiful. I'm just trying to find some wet trackers here, mate. I'm just looked at the radar. You did say there's rain around. 5 to 10 mil today, 5 to 10 mil tomorrow, 5 to 10 mil on Saturday come race time at about 11 a.m. So that tells me these provincial tracks, they're not going to hold the water well. I'm just trying to find some heavy trackers while you're trying to go through them, mate. And
with probably 5 mil to come each day, I hope we don't get a heavy track. I think a lot of it's going to depend on how much rain we get on the day.
Yep.
But I'm working probably off a soft track at the moment. And within this race, there's not a whole lot of wet track form. And that is why I think earlier on in the day, it may not make as much of a difference. But as we get on and the inside does get chopped up, the middle part of the track is definitely where you want to be.
Yeah, and you landed with Smashing Eagle.
Smashing Eagle on top of
Yep.
Dynamic Impact.
Dynamic Impact. I'm just looking up its wet track form. Okay. Yeah, Smashing Eagle. Nice one start on the heavy for 1/3. Not bad. If it lands in the heavy range, just keep an eye on contributing factor at $41. Just some nice heavy track form. Yeah, it's going well. Likes the wet track. So, and I think it's chasing those wet tracks. So just keep an eye on it. That's just my little throw of a dart for there. But yeah, agree with you on Smashing Eagle, mate. Fit and consistent. That's for sure. Around the grounds, Matty, where are you going with yours?
Mate, we'll start off at Cranbourne. I think in race number 3 down there, Kazoo is playing about 220 at the moment. And look, it's probably a price where you could include this in some multis rather than going too hard. But I think it should be too good for this field. Coming off a win up in Sydney from barrier number 5, Damien Lane on board. Not really too many negatives, so I'm quite comfortable to be playing Kazoo at Cranbourne in race number 3. We'll jump up to Sydney and Kembla Grange. We've just done race number 3. We might have a bit of a running double and include in race number 4 Short Shorts at $10 and IPO at $20. Now, Worm Short Shorts has been quite disappointing this preparation. If you go back and have a look at its autumn, it was much better preparation. But I think it's found a race here that really suits it quite well. So Short Shorts from barrier number 10, race number 4. I'm not too worried about the wide gate here. I think, again, coming down the middle of the track isn't necessarily going to be a bad thing. Gets a claim with an apprentice on board. And at $10, I'm quite happy to have a bit of a nibble here at Short Shorts. And as I said, IPO with Tyler Schiller on board, it'll actually be starting even further out from barrier number 12. But at $20, this horse had a really underrated win in the Midway last start. And even though I acknowledge this will be harder, don't be surprised to see this horse in the finish. And at $20, I'll be certainly having a small piece of it. So Worm, race number 4, Short Shorts, and IPO. We'll finish off in race number 7. Now, interesting race we've got here, Worm. And for the gong, there's a number of cases you can make with a number of different form lines, but after looking at the race a few different ways, I came back and landed on the same horse. Now, Osipenko, yes, it's favourite. For barrier number 10, it's going to have some work to do, but by that time of the day, again, coming down the middle of the track won't necessarily be a bad thing. It is definitely the class horse in this field. It hasn't had the preparation, even though it has been running in tougher races, acknowledging that it did get within 2 lengths of Mr. Brightside and Alligator Blood when it ran at Flemington. So if we're having a look at this horse just from a class perspective, there is nothing else in this race that comes close to it. So if it runs anywhere near its best, it will be taking out the gong up at Kembla Grange. Worm.
Yes. I was just trying to do a quick heavy track form for the gong, but yeah, everyone loves the wet, so that's good.
They do a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a quick $30 pop, but yeah, they all took my eye and quick summary. I'm going to head to the Greyhounds, guys. It's Melbourne Cup Heats night. I went to the Greyhounds last Saturday night, and yeah, it's good racing. I reckon. I reckon the heats are good. Plenty of horses you can back. Plenty of dogs you can lay. Just due to their box draw and manners, and I saw a lot of favourites that are running again this Saturday that went under. So, yeah, if you're with the community, I'll be giving my thoughts in those races Saturday night. So, more importantly, get involved if you'd like to lay, because I think there's a few shorties we can lay, but there's 2 shorties I think we can get amongst here. Sandown Park, race 6, box 2. Wow, she's fast. I know I've been critical of this dog, but this dog finds box 2, and I think this horse loves inside draws. Box 1's going to be slow out. We should find the rail and just power past this field along the back, and we'll be winning. This dog is elite when it's on fire, and we know its best is good, and I think it will bring it on Saturday night at his race 6, box 2. Wow, she's fast at around the $2.15 mark. We move over to Sandown Park, Greyhounds, race 8, box 2, big energy. This is my best bet. I'll be anchoring this in all my multis. Currently $1.70. So, yeah, as I said, chucking these in all my multis. Won the shootout last week in 28.98, where most of the pups were winning on Saturday night. We're around 29.40. Will find the rail. Will prove very hard to beat. If for some stupid reason this eases out past $1.80, it's an absolute launch job for me, and I'll be anchoring this in all my multis. That is race 8, box 2, big energy. Multi, I'm throwing both of those pups in my multi. That is Sandown Park, race 6, box 2. Wow, she's fast. Sandown Park Greys, race 8, box 2, big energy, both to win. Maddie, what are you throwing in?
Worm, Kembla Grange, race 3, Smashing Eagle, the place. Confident, quite bullish that it'll run a good race. We'll also be including Kazoo at Cranbourne, race number 3 for the place.
Beautiful. That comes to $9.36. So, nice little way to end Sandown Dogs. We'll be waiting until around 9 o'clock, which is going to be good after a few cans deep. Matty, any quick thoughts on the railway big meeting at Ascot?
Funny you mentioned that because we were watching the dogs on the railway about the same time, given the fact that they've had to delay it due to the weather over there.
Yeah, it could get quite scary for the
It
community.
could be a bit of a late night on Saturday night. Look, over there, I think we're going to need to wait till the day and just see how one the track's running, and then two, what the Fremantle doctor is or isn't doing. So, unfortunately, yeah, it definitely played a bit of havoc over there last week, where I thought there were a few good things that didn't really get assisted by the conditions over there. The horses I'll be looking at definitely to the low. It'll be sitting up near the pace. If it's going to be a hard track now, they've got a heat wave over there at the moment, fires, everything. So I'm imagining it's going to be a fairly hard track over there. Tulu definitely needs to be in consideration because it'll be sitting in the first four. And a run along exceptionally well. One that I've backed previously is Bustler. I think from a local chance, it's definitely one I'll be taking into consideration. And look, Roots is the best horse in the field, no doubt about it. Hard track though, big concern. How far back it gets, big concern. So they're probably three that I'll be taking a bit more of a look at. How did you see this one, Worm?
Yeah, look, all week I've wanted to be with Tuvalu. I know they've set it for this race, but my biggest issue here, Tuvalu, Roots, Forgot You, both flew over on Monday. I would have loved to have a bit more time for them to be over there, but it was the only flight to get over there. So they're going to have to be really good to be winning this. So I think it's just going to be a last minute bet here. Wait till they get in the yard, see what happens to the conditions. But yeah, just I would have loved an extra week for them to be over in WA, acclimatized to that heat. We haven't had very hot weather down in Victoria. Sydney have a little bit. So, but even looking at the Sydney form, like Dom DeShoot's at 3-4 wide, no cover, somehow still ran second and was fighting for the finish. So he's still probably going to be in the same position doing that. I'm going to need more time, but yeah, it's a bloody tough race. Yeah, going to need more time. I'll be pretty keen to take take on Tuvalu, Roots, and Forgot You, even though they're too heavy in the market, and try and find some value. Maybe Dom to shoot. Need more time, but it'll be in the community. That's for sure on Saturday. All right, Matty. Pineapple time. Where are we going?
Wow, it's been a while. In terms of the pineapple, hasn't it, mate? I promise you, I will hand it over at some stage. You will get
No,
another crack.
don't. I want you to go
I don't think
right through
I
until the
don't.
break.
I don't think it's going to be this week though, because for those in the community who did follow us Melbourne Cup Day and jumped on the map, it's running around at Morphettville this week in a 25-metre race, and if it gets anywhere near the race that it ran at Melbourne Cup Day, it will blow these horses away. It doesn't even need to do that. Just it needs to run half as well as what it did Melbourne Cup Day, and it will be winning this. So Worm at 240, that's the one that I will be playing. The map, race 5 at Morphettville, around that 240 mark at the moment. It will be the pineapple.
Yeah, mate. I 100% agree. This is scary. $2.30. I cannot see it starting those odds against what it's up against. Just even said to you pre-production, Matty, this is basically no better than a benchmark 70, and we're rated 86. Okay, we've got 59 and a half kilos, but oh my God, we're giving 5 kilos to benchmark 60 horses. It's, yeah, Benny Price,
Oh, mate,
just sit and
if you want
steer.
if you want the multi to be worth $20, you know what to do.
No, let's just go. Launch job, and yeah, we'll clean up on the multi, and then we'll just clean up on the pineapple, and we'll be smoking
Just
cigars.
roll it over anyway.
Yeah, off to Sizzler, as I like to say. Any last thoughts, Matty?
No, mate, looking forward to a cracking day. And as I said, it might be a bit of a late one with about a 10 p.m. finish over in Ascot.
Yeah, I'm worried for my liver. It could be a very big day on the source. Just watching some good quality racing and good quality pups at Saturday night. Thank you for joining, Matty. We'll be back next week for off-peak racing. More importantly, it's back. I love it. We'll be back next Thursday night for another cracking show. Thank you all. Go well, and more importantly, hopefully you fill your pockets up and we fill your pockets up.